To what point does this tier 7 boss girl mentality, man-eater type of thing just become begging?
Social media has ruined the dating experience for men.
Do you think most women actually really like men?
No.
Why is it always men aren't men anymore?
She asks, "Men, where have you gone? Please come back."
Here is why every single woman out there who is looking for a serious relationship.
It is not normal to have to beg the man that you're with to plan two dates.
What happens when millions of men suddenly stop dating, and women realize the attention they once took for granted is disappearing? Why are so many modern women in 2026 suddenly complaining that men no longer approach, pursue, or even seem interested anymore? And what does it mean when average men become happier alone than inside modern relationships? Stay with us till the end of this video, because this quiet shift is changing dating culture faster than anyone expected.
Why is it always men aren't men anymore? Why is it always when are men gonna step up and be men? When literally women have been begging men to be women for literally a fucking decade. You guys have been crying about men needing to be more emotional. You need him to do your laundry. You need him to cook and clean and step up. Like, you don't even want to come home after a 40-hour work week and cook and clean. Most of y'all can't cook or clean, and yet you want these men that are working 60 to 70 hours to be emotionally in tune, cook for you, clean for you. You want a woman as a fucking husband. Like, can someone make it make sense? And then you sit here and say, oh, what happened to all the men? You turned them into women. You wanted them to have all these feminine traits, and they did that, and they became that, and now you can't stand it. So make it make sense. If he's too emotional, then he's weak. But if he shows a little freaking masculinity where he's helping you and he's being strong and he's being the provider, then it gives you the freaking ick. What you want is a woman that looks like a man, and when that has happened in society, you can't stand it. This is a perfect example, and it's so weird because women will literally change men into people that they don't even like, and we're seeing it on a bigger scale in society. How can you expect that man to be a man when you don't let him be a man? Oh, wait, and all of those feelings that you expect him to have, you're then gonna weaponize it and use it against him anyway. So what is the expectation? And even if he's home more to help you with said dishes or laundry, that means he has to take less hours at work, which means he's making less money, which means guess what? He's a broke ass dude that's not even a providing man, which then is a feminine trait. Y'all don't know what you want. When it comes down to it, women do not know what they want and they take it out on the men. I'm just convinced that the majority of women are freaking lesbians. They just don't want to be physically intimate with a woman, but they want all of the traits of women in a man. Okay, bye.
For years, men were expected to chase no matter how exhausting dating became. Approach first, text first, plan everything, pay for everything, and constantly prove their value. But in 2026, millions of men are quietly stepping back from the dating scene completely.
Here is why every single woman out there who is looking for a serious relationship actually wants it to start off casual and never serious from the get-go. If you go into your dating interactions as a man very serious and expecting something to happen or expecting something to come of it, what she is going to see is that you have dependency on that interaction. She's going to start to see that you have dependency on that date, and what that really signals is it signals dependency on potential intimacy. That dependency on potential intimacy, now what that is going to do is actually make her lose respect and desire for you. And what will happen is that she's not going to get the right feelings when she's around you, and she will probably exit. Even women who are looking for relationships, you have to start off slow. You have to let feelings build over the course of weeks and months, and you have to make sure that she is the one bringing up the topic of a potential committed relationship first, because the second that you do it, it's going to be mistaken for weakness.
Social media has ruined the dating experience for men. And honestly, it's because these women have their expectations so high. If he wanted to, he would. Your boyfriend is 23. He shouldn't be buying you designer bags, expensive meals, paying for your rent. Y'all cannot seriously expect men who, A, you're not married to, B, under the age of like 30 to buy you things like homes, cars, anything. Especially if you're not giving those wifey privileges back to him. Are you folding his laundry? Are you doing his dishes? No? Why would he be doing things for you? Not to mention how ungrateful the internet has made everybody. A man will open your door for you, and the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, as he should. Ugh! I cannot stand when women are ungrateful for the things that men do for them. Is it polite that he opened your door? Yeah? Say thank you. Is it polite that he offered you money to pay for your nails to get done? Say thank you. Social media has made it to where y'all expect the world in your hands from that man. Please let him rest. Unless there's a ring on your finger or you're doing those things for him, cut it out.
What surprises many women is that these men aren't angry or heartbroken. They're calm, focused, at peace. Instead of spending energy chasing validation, many men are building businesses, improving fitness, gaming, traveling, and enjoying life without relationship pressure.
You're an average woman and you want to know how you get a high status man? Okay, I'll teach you in just 5 steps. Step 1, you can't. Sorry, but you can't. So there's no need to go over all the other steps, but hold on, let me tell you why. A high status man, he has options and real options. He's not choosing based on your standards. He's choosing based on your value. So when you say stuff like, I need a man making over $500,000 a year, or I have high standards, or I'm just thinking about my future, you have some questions to answer yourself. Are you fit, or are you working on it? Are you young, or are you trying to compete with a 20-something-year-old using Botox and filler? Are you feminine and submissive, or are you loud, combative, and allergic to being led? Do you like to cook, or do you hate it? Do you bring peace, or do you bring problems, mood swings, and tests to see if he really loves you? Because men at that level, they invest in beauty, peace, and a woman who makes life feel lighter and easier. And if you bring kids from another man into the equation, your chances are even smaller, honey. I'm sorry. So what the hell happened? Average women used to go for average men, solid men, hardworking men, and loyal men with character. Now, a lot of average women want the top dog while refusing to become a top woman themselves. That is not high standards. That is high entitlement. That is why you're still single. That is why you're getting older. And that is why you keep asking, where are all the men? Where did they go? Honey, they're everywhere. Take a look around. They're on construction sites doing electrical work, and they're working the double shifts. And guess what? Those men, they would treat you like a damn queen, but you are stuck in fantasy land. You think you have the same chance as a sweet, feminine 20-something-year-old who looks like a model? I'm sorry, but no, give me a break. Your prince might not be dressed in Italian designer suits every day. He might be in work boots, covered in dust, looking for a woman who's actually worth committing to, but you're too blind to see him.
A lot of men also became exhausted with modern dating culture. Endless expectations, mixed signals, emotional games, and social media comparisons pushed many average guys to emotionally disconnect from relationships altogether.
At this point, y'all are choosing to be naive and not seeing the signs that someone doesn't like you. I just watched a video and y'all are talking about it seems like you have to beg someone to take you on a date. Why would you have to beg someone to take you on a date? If someone isn't willing to hang out with you outside of a house, why would you think they still like you? What is going on in your head that makes you think that they like you? And if they do take you on a date, but then it makes it seem like they're like waving the carrot trying to make you chase after it, or hang the dollar in front of you trying to chase after it just for a date, why do you think they like you? Dating is not hard. Planning a date, figuring out what to do, being creative. To me, in my opinion, it's not a hard thing to do. But when I hear you guys talk about, oh, it's like I have to beg for a date, why would you talk to someone that you have to beg from a date from? It sounds like you're thirsty in the situation and you're chasing after someone. Why are y'all chasing after someone? Why are you chasing after someone that doesn't want to take the time out to take you on a date? Make it make sense.
And once men experience life without constant emotional stress, many become protective of that peace. No arguments, no pressure to impress, no endless chasing, just discipline, freedom, and control over their own lives.
Do you think most women actually like men?
No, I'm glad that you mentioned that in the book. Another ugly truth that guys need to get through their head. Most women don't like you guys. They just don't. A majority of women do not like a majority of men. However, a majority of men absolutely like a majority of women. And that creates obviously an imbalance. And I would argue that, back to our discussion earlier with feminism, since most women naturally already don't like most men, with technology, women entering the workforce, education, all this other stuff, them being able to provide for themselves essentially in a modernized society where they don't need men, it makes it even worse for men because now they really don't like you and they don't have to deal with you. It used to be a woman would deal with a guy because she wanted to get married, have kids, whatever, she needed him, so she would be willing to deal with a more average guy. Now they make their own money and everything else like that. Now they really don't need men. They never liked us that much anyway, right? And I want to be clear because some people might say, oh, Myron, what do you mean? I am being a bit hyperbolic, but what I'm saying is this. It's not that they necessarily hate you guys, but it's you guys are invisible to them.
I'm gonna hold your hand when I tell you this. It is not normal to have to beg the man that you're with to plan cute dates. It's not normal to have to beg him to spend time with you. He should want to be spending time with you. He's your boyfriend. He should want to be spending time with you. He quite literally should try his hardest to spend time with you because he chose to be with you and you chose to be with him. If he does not want to spend time with you, that's not your person. That's not your boyfriend. That's not your husband.
Social media made this shift impossible to ignore. Women started noticing fewer men approaching, fewer genuine conversations, and fewer men willing to tolerate one-sided effort. The same men who once chased endlessly are now emotionally detached and selective with their time.
In today's world, most households need 2 incomes. So if she's working 2, what exactly makes you the provider? And I'm not attacking anyone, I'm asking a serious question. Because a lot of men online love criticizing women, love talking about feminine energy, about submission. But the question is, are you actually masculine or do you just like the aesthetic of masculinity? Because masculinity is responsibility, pressure, leadership, sacrifice, protection, not just going to the gym and being able to grow a beard. Can you actually protect her? Because I've seen all these street interviews of men being asked if they can fight and it's embarrassing. Just to clarify, seeing red when you're angry does not mean you can throw a punch. In fact, you're more likely to hurt yourself that way than your opponent. A man with even a few months of Muay Thai or boxing training will absolutely humble even the biggest gym lad. So when you say, I protect my woman, how? Because protection isn't just physical, by the way. Do you protect her emotionally? If your family disrespects her, do you check it immediately or do you just sit there silently while she feels uncomfortable? Does your woman actually feel safe with you or is she just attached to you? Because those are very different things. And leadership, let's talk about that too. Most women today work, so you are not leading through money alone. So how are you leading? Do you make good long-term decisions? Do you calm situations down instead of escalating them? Do you handle pressure without panicking? Can you handle difficult conversations? Do you know how to step up and say, no, we can't afford that right now because we're building something bigger? Or we need to do this today because tomorrow we're too busy? Do you think ahead for the family? Or are you passive and nod along to all the plans that she makes? Because that would mean she carries all the mental load. So what are you doing other than watching alpha male podcasts? And then there's the small things. Do you carry bags? Put petrol in her car? Do the nasty, hard chores at home? Do you handle all the annoying tasks that she doesn't like doing before she even asks just because? Are you a gentleman? You open doors, get her chair, walk on the outside of the pavement, take initiative when life gets stressful? Because masculinity is not dominance, it's burden. It's doing the hard things consistently, not only on date night, but every day. It's in your blood. The people around you feel safe. And honestly, a lot of men love traditional standards for women until traditional standards get applied back to them. So before you sit online criticizing women or ask what do they bring to the table in my comments whilst I'm trying to open their eyes and sway them in the right direction, ask yourself, would you genuinely feel safe if your daughter married a man exactly like you? To conclude, if you do the things that I said, hats off to you. But otherwise, I don't want to hear it, boys.
What frustrates some women the most is that these men no longer seem desperate. They are no longer competing for female approval. And once a man becomes comfortable alone, the dating dynamic changes completely.
And I'm gonna say this here, you girls who out there asking for men to pay for your hair, your lashes, your nails, y'all ruin it for girls like us.
Those types of women have definitely ruined or poisoned or polluted, is a better way of saying, the dating pool for men. And a lot of men are now pulling back in dating less or dating at all. And some of them are not willing to pay for dates, and it's affecting women who haven't been talking a lot of this delusional nonsense. So for women who aren't on that type of time or that type of level or these talking points, this ideology of the sort of modern woman, I feel sorry for those women who are feeling the brunt of men reacting to these terrible women.
And let me tell you why. Because now men think women only want them to pay for the bullshit. I could afford all of that.
This is a great point. And for all those women who always want to fantasize about 90s love, a lot more women understood this point. If you want to get a man to pay for anything, why are you getting them to pay for these little things? Get them to pay for bigger items, because truly these maintenance things are the things you're supposed to do in order to get the guy to do the big things. But now the game is all effed up.
I would like assistance on business Sunday. I would like help on the permits. I would like help on a startup investment. I could do my hair, nails, lashes, toes. If I could pay my own bills too.
Many modern men are now realizing that staying single often feels more peaceful than navigating unstable relationships. Instead of seeking romance constantly, they are prioritizing money, mental peace, goals, and self-improvement.
Guys, I know this is going to sound crazy, but most women are dating for a relationship. I know it sounds nuts. They are. And if they're not dating you, it's because they didn't want to date you. You were not the chosen one for them. So that does not mean that they are just looking to mess around and use people's money. It just means that they didn't like you and didn't want to date you. Does that make sense?
I'll give you a tip. Date guys that you have no interest in at first. Practice with guys you wouldn't even be interested in at all. Just so there's no pressure. Because women, we want to be the chooser, not the chaser. And when you don't have attachment to anything, then you come off as very confident. That's very sexy and attractive to a man. And you'll get in the habit of being, I'm the chooser. Like, I don't even want you. Show me why I should want you. And you just start with like low level guys that you wouldn't date. And then you do that like 10 times. When a guy comes that you're interested in and you notice, you're like, oh my God, you get a needy and like, no, if I did it with all these guys, they're no different. This guy's no different. You managed it with them, you can manage it with him, you know?
Nothing makes me cringe like, let's say, mushimane lekgowa la posta la re, now only date black girls. And go tla banyana ka mo comment section auditioning for umjolo ka re party ya Grace Mondlana. Excuse me, sis. Maybe let's say content creator thing, if I like your comment, that means I like you. Oh, tla ka paragraph Shakespeare. I go re twetle. Gore ke feel like ke feel embarrassed on your behalf. Gore on the public platform, you were rejected on a public platform.
The biggest twist is that this isn't some loud movement. Men are protesting online every day. They are simply participating less. Less dating, less emotional investment, less chasing, and that silence is speaking louder than words.
You're gonna see more and more women completely spazzing out because everybody's antisocial. So what's happening is women are slowly realizing that their whole life, right? For example, every time they go to the gym, you just put your headphones in and you look down. That probably doesn't work month after month, year after year. When you don't reply to every single direct message on the dating app, month over month, year over year, that probably doesn't work out very well. When every single time a dude approached you and asked you out on a date, you rejected him just to humble him or do whatever social media told you to do, women are slowly realizing that month by month, year by year, that probably doesn't work out. Okay, so what you're running into now is a generation of men who have essentially given up, and a generation of women now that don't get nearly as much attention as they used to. Men literally quit giving attention because it was completely pointless. It's like, I remember like 10 years ago on social media, right? When I graduated like high school going into college, people would actually interact, right? Like when there was a post on social, if like a hot girl posted a picture, like guys would like comment and like say things and like attempt to like talk to her, and that just like doesn't happen anymore. So the attention is going away. Men have realized that it's completely pointless, and now everybody's antisocial. So you even see complete, you see like places where people should be social, right? A bar, a club, a restaurant, even a gym for that matter. Like a gym, like everybody has a common interest, and most of these people here are single. Nobody talks. Everybody just looks down. Well, here's the thing. If you're a man with some type of balls or fortitude, you don't care. So that means you're the type of guy where you'll walk up to whoever you want to talk to because you're not ashamed of your desires. So I'm here to let you in on a little secret. If you're a man in 2026 right now and you act like a man, you will be rewarded, because there's women, listen to me, there's women that are hot, that have not been approached in months or sometimes even years. You will find women where if you approach them, they will actually tell you, wow, it's been years since anybody's actually came up to me in public and had like desire to talk to me. So here's the thing. Women are slowly realizing that they're going to have to either start pursuing first or make themselves more available and open for attention, conversation, and communication. And men, what you're going to realize is if you have any amount of internal will and fortitude to go after what you want, I genuinely believe that it is easier than ever. It's easier than ever to get a date if you just do what's required. If you want to learn, understand, and master the language of women, check out what I made for you. It's in my bio, it's in my description. I have an end-to-end process you can copy-paste into your dating life and start to win. You'll love it.
Now many women are beginning to notice something uncomfortable. The attention economy only works when men are willing to participate in it. And millions of men are quietly deciding they'd rather protect their peace instead.
To what point does this Shira 7 boss girl mentality, man eater type of thing just become begging? Because I feel like we're at a tipping point here where it is becoming extremely obvious that a lot of girls in the dating pool, you guys just don't got your bag up. Like, expecting a man to fund everything in your life in order to have a shot with you, and you're asking a man for money for, like, everything. Maybe you just don't got it for yourself. Like, it's like a different thing if he offers, like, wow. So, you know, I'm sure anyone would appreciate it. But to have it as a set condition, like, I don't understand. Is this like rent a girlfriend? Like, he gotta buy you? Your wallet just must be full of flies. Like, I'm not saying we should be ashamed to be broke, but like, let's call it as it is. It seems like begging. You know, call me crazy, but I just don't think money should be at the center of a romantic relationship. Obviously, this is like a different story if it's like, oh, you know, like if I ask and he doesn't for like something like small emergency or I don't know. Obviously there's context. Obviously there's problems if he does blah, blah, blah. But this new generation of thinking where like a man gotta do this financially for me to have a shot, is it really like girl power, or is it like you're low-key just a beggar?
And honestly, this may be one of the biggest social shifts of modern dating culture. Because when large numbers of men stop prioritizing relationships, the entire balance between attention, validation, and dating starts changing overnight.
One writer posed a simple question to the nation in a recent article from the New York Times. She asks, "Men, where have you gone? Please come back."
Oh my God! Where are all the men?
So she made a call to all men, calling for them to return, because according to her, they are missing in daily life and in dating. Now, in her decades of dating, marriage, divorce, and then dating again, she says that she has noticed that men are retreating in mass, falling away from the dating scene and meeting their needs elsewhere. In her latest dating fail, she told the man that she was interested in him, but she was left on red, which brought her to this part of the story. He never replied. He still follows my Instagram stories, one of those small gestures of passive engagement that so many of us now mistake for closeness. It looks like interest, it feels like silence. There are thousands of Jameses, which is the guy. I have known dozens. The arc varies, but the undertow is familiar. What I won't entertain is directionless orbiting. That thing so many men seem to mistake for connection. The perpetual maybe. The emoji check-ins, the casual seeing where it goes without ever going anywhere. We call it a situationship. But mostly, it's avoidance, an abdication of ownership, a feeling of behavior of sex that isn't a means to an end, but is communion. Now, the one thing that I wanted to point out that she said is that she will not entertain directionless orbiting, which I think is very interesting and a great point. But one thing that as I heard that word about, you know, they want direction, they want leadership, though she was not able to say it just like that. Because you know what following directions typically needs? A path, and typically requires a leader. But so many women don't allow men to lead anymore, or they don't want it.
I want leadership. Like, lead me. Lead me when I'm in the mood to be led.
Now, the author eventually made a call asking the men to return, which I want to read a couple of these parts because I just thought that this was an interesting way to end this. She's basically saying they've disappeared and she's sad and wants them back. But she never quite say why they left in the first place. She never figures that out. This is kind of the closing statements. You've retreated, not into malice, but into something softer and harder all at once. Avoidance, exhaustion, disrepair. Why are they avoiding? Why are they exhausted? Why are they in disrepair? Why? Why? Maybe no one taught you how to stay. Maybe you tried once and it hurt. Maybe the world told you your role was to provide, to perform, to protect, and never to feel. No, it's not to perform, but it is to provide and protect. I think men are okay with that. I would argue that's a good thing. But here's what's real. We never needed you to be perfect. We needed you to be with us. Not above, not muted, not masked, just with. And you can still come back. Not by becoming someone else, but by remembering what connection feels like when it's honest and slow, when it's earned and messy and sacred. So those are some of her closing points, and I honestly do think that they were written genuinely, and she really does mean that. But in the same breath, I have heard the echoes of toxic masculinity in the background of all of those well-meaning sentiments. She writes, not muted. But then what's mansplaining, where they just want men to shut up because they're mansplaining? She also writes, we never needed you to be perfect. But then we have notes apps with an ick list 100 bullet points long. She says, we just needed you to be with us. But then what's the whole we don't need no man? I mean, time after time, these points fall on deaf ears considering what the feminists and what women everywhere are saying. One guy said, women got what they wanted. Turns out they don't want it after all. Yeah, they want men. They still want men. This tweet, though, is written from a woman, and it went viral, which is what got my attention on the story in the first place. And she said, when will everyone come to understand that it's us who have driven men away? For decades, society has disrespected and neglected them, insisting that they are unnecessary, while only prioritizing support for girls and women. Men have been marginalized, and now we are left wondering why so many men are choosing to disengage. If we want men to come back, we need to take responsibility and give them something worth coming back for. This article and most people don't seem to get that. The same girl also tweeted something the day before, and I wanted to read this as well. She said, in my opinion, most, if not all, societal issues can be traced back to the lack of a harmonious relationship between men and women. Building understanding, compassion, and collaboration between the sexes is essential for addressing all the challenges we face today. 100%! I mean, that is completely true. We desperately need a generation that values men as we do women, but highlights our differences and values those differences. We're uniquely designed for a reason. Our differences complement one another. So yes, the men need to come back, and the ladies need to welcome them when they return.
So here's the real question. Are modern women begging men to date again because they truly miss relationships, or because men finally stopped giving away attention for free?
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.